Meanwhile, thousands back in Egypt attended a funeral service on Friday for those killed in the bus attack earlier in the day. However, shortly into the service, the funeral turned into an angry protest against the seemingly frequent attacks against Christians. ISIL militants have targeted Copts several times in recent months and vowed to do so again. 2 suicide bombings on 9th April left 46 people dead. The attack on Friday left about 28 people dead with dozens injured. Mourners at the funeral staged their displeasure, asking the government to do more to ensure their safety.
Every day they're killing us. Why is that? What have we done? And are they going to kill us every day? Why is this happening? The Botrosea and those who were killed in Libya, and then the monastery. What is happening? Where is the government?
God is the one who will avenge us. Those who died are our brothers. They were not strangers to us. We are all one village and one family here.
CGTN's Yasser Hakim is keeping tabs on this story and now joins us live with more insights from Cairo. Yasser, what more can you tell us about the airstrikes carried out in Libya and their impact so far?
Well, the airstrikes were in coordination with the Libyan National Army led by Khalifa Haftar, and they were obviously the second time Egypt has done so. If you remember, 2 years ago, the first air raid by Egypt was on Sirt, the stronghold of ISIL back then, after the killing of Egyptians by ISIL in Libya. And this time, the Egyptian president has said that it will not be the last, and this could mean that there will be a recurrence of this raid, especially that he emphasized in the speech that more than 1,000 cars have been held by police while trying to infiltrate through the Libyan borders in the last 3 years. It shows the magnitude and the huge number of militants that have been trying to enter Egypt through the borders with Libya to operate in the country. So obviously this is a new strategy by the Egyptian president to try to curb the surge of terrorism in the region and obviously in Egypt.
Yes, so President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi made a national address on the issue. What do we know about his overall strategy in response to the attacks and those behind them?
Well, I think for it to be effective, it's not only the air raids, and here where comes the Libyan National Army and Egypt's close ties with Khalifa Haftar. I think there will be more coordination in that. Egypt obviously would want to go into an all-out war inside another country, inside Libya. So probably Egypt will be putting more air raids on Libyan camps, training camps by the terrorist groups there, while the Libyan National Army will be attacking with patrols and ground troops to make it more effective, weakening the terrorist camps by air raids and then attacking and entering the camps and killing or pushing out the terrorists through ground troops by the LNA. I think this could be the new strategy that we will see soon. It's kind of similar to what has happened with ISIL in Sirt and how they were kicked out, but this time with more fortifications on the borders to prevent that those extremists would flee through the borders to other countries, whether to the west or to the east, Tunisia, Algeria, Niger, and Chad, all the countries that could be suffering from the insurgency and the spill of terrorists through the borders, and obviously the Egyptian borders as well. So we might see a coordination between the Egyptian army and the Libyan National Army in the future. And I think this is why the Egyptian president mentioned US President Donald Trump to also give the green light for such action and maybe even work with Egypt on the coordinating on also attacking the militant groups in Libya with the help of the Western countries such as the US and Europe.
And yes, so we've seen that report on the funeral service of those killed. One can read anger from the tone of the mourners who spoke at the funerals for the victims of Friday's attack. Are there concerns that these kind of attacks could hurt the interreligious relations in Egypt?
Obviously, this is the main aim of these attacks. They are targeting the one sect of the society, the Christians, the Copts, who have been strong supporters of Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi since he took office. And the aim, obviously, is to break or divide the Egyptian community, Egyptian society, and create chaos within the Egyptian population. And throughout the last 6 months, we've seen the attacks on the cathedral in Cairo, on the churches in Alexandria and Tanta, targeting those the church goers, and obviously the latest one on Friday, to try to break this bond between the Egyptian government and the Egyptian people. Obviously, there is anger at the moment, but noting from the previous attempts, it has failed to divide the nation. The Pope and the Copts have issued a statement, an official statement, saying that they are supporting the Egyptian president in this ordeal, and they will not give in to the attempts to divide the country. And there's also a message by the terrorists to the Copts living abroad that also try to heed the situation and give the image outside Egypt that the Egyptian government has failed to protect the Copts and Christians in Egypt. At the moment, yes, there is anger, but on the official response and the overall response by the Christians is that they are still united, and they understand that the war on terror does not only target the Christians, but many Muslims have been killed in Egypt in the last months as well by the terrorist groups. And this is just an attempt to weaken the nation.
All right, Yasser Hakim live for us there in Cairo. Thank you, Yasser, for joining us.